But I can't let you get out off of here without getting your opinion on this preseason HBCU ranking. Okay, now that we take care of the business, I just wanted to pull your coat on this, okay? Because I felt some type of way about it. But I said, let me ask King Zoe about it, okay? For all the real ones who have not seen the poll, okay? This article says FAMU favored to repeat as HBCU football champions in preseason poll. Okay, so they got FAM number 1, North Carolina Central at 2, Howard at 3, Alcorn at 4, Bama State at 5, Prairie View at 6, and the illustrious Jackson State University all the way down here at 7. Okay. To round out the top 10, they got Tennessee State at 8, Morgan State at 9, and Southern at 10. Thoughts from you on that, King?
All right, first things first, obviously Jack State is too low. But here I'm gonna raise you this question because here's my thing. I'm not upset at FAMU at number 1. I don't agree with it, but I'm not upset by it because again, I live by the mantra. They won the championship last year. To be the man, you got to beat the man. I can see that. Also, I think Prairie View should be higher. All right.
Okay. Talk to me.
Well, the reason why I put the same thing, they won a division. They played for a championship last year. So again, I'm not going to necessarily say I agree with their placement, but I'm just saying that I can make an argument that they could be higher or be above us.
Gotcha.
But now where it draws Howard played in the Celebration Bowl, I can see them there. You know what I'm saying? Now, what gets me is, and I'm speaking regular football logic, when it comes to Central. Maybe not so much Central, but I'm going to get to the reason why. But most definitely Alcorn and Alabama State. See, here's the thing, and we're going to use regular logic here. Okay, Alabama State, they're going to say we'll put them over them because they beat Jackson State last year. Okay, fine. All right. But then since that game when they beat us, what have they done? And what I mean by that is at the season's end, because that team that beat us is no longer there, and they've regressed since then. Alcorn, they beat us, but they've regressed as well. But Alcorn hasn't regressed like Alabama State. Here's the thing: Alabama State, they lose their best offensive weapon. They didn't have an offense. They'll say they didn't have an offense last year. They had a great defense, but now we got a quarterback, so we should be good. No, you didn't bring in a great quarterback. You brought in a quarterback that won 9 games, has 4 wins against teams with winning record. Well, that's 500 or better. I mean, I'm sorry, that doesn't push the needle for me. Plus, you lost your best offensive weapon, you lost your starting running back, and then on defense, you lost your three best defensive players. So again, those are question marks that you don't know, so you can't bank on that. Because if you can bank on those unknowns, then that alone can't justify you putting Jack State so low. Jack State has more returning starters on in the Eastern Division with FAMU and Alabama State. We have more starters returning. We have the only returning quarterback. We have the leading rusher in the conference returning. You know what I'm saying? We have the wide receiver were there because we do have a first team preseason all conference wide receiver there. Plus recruiting, no one out recruited us in the country. Then you look at defense. Now, granted, our defense was subpar. We were good on the back end. We were decent on the front end. We had horrible linebacker play. All right. So now those are the knowns. So my thing is we've addressed our unknowns, but I'm gonna still use the unknowns like they did. So if we return our quarterback, got the most returning starters than anybody in the division, all the secondary is back. We upgrade the front end. In the front end, we didn't really lose any production, and we upgrade the linebackers. And our head coach is still there. Now, some people may say, "Oh, well, you're bringing in a new OC." The new OC is the head coach. So it's not an OC that's coming in brand new, having to learn the talent, having to install a brand new offense. Our head coach is the OC. He's been there. So that negates that, or at least breaks that even. You follow what I'm saying? Now on the defensive side, hey, we brought a defensive guy in from staff who actually, believe it or not, actually helped out with the adjustments last season. And also I have to say this because we have to give this context. Last season was not Jackson State in its second, third, or fourth year under a regime. It was the first year of a first-time head coach. You have to give that context.
Right.
So doing all that, how can we be so low when Alabama State bringing in a quarterback that ain't won nothing? All right. Then you don't know who the starting running back is. You lost your best running back, lost your best offensive weapon, lost defensive players, and you're recruiting It's not matching ours. Alcorn. So then in the same way, because in the SWAC, they put Alcorn picked to win the West, but they got Alcorn above us in this poll. Well, Alcorn, they really don't know who the quarterback is. I'm assuming they're going to play the guy who was a freshman last year, Draco, but they benched him. He didn't even play. So how can you bank that you're going to have success with that much uncertainty at quarterback? You don't know. You're forecasting. So how can you forecast a quarterback that hadn't played can lead to success when you got a quarterback with substantial success and wins coming back? You can't justify that. You can't. So that's what I'm saying. The logic isn't there. It's almost like they're going with, well, I just got a feeling. That feeling, that's just gas. That's not logical thinking. That's not logical thinking. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You could take the Jackson State off of me. I'm using logistics. Again, FAMU could be ranked number 1. I can make an argument because they were the champions. I could put Prairie View up there. I could put Central up there. But even Central's bringing in a brand new quarterback. But placing Alabama State to Alcorn, that logically just doesn't make sense. So if you would ask me, I would have if you want to have FAMU, Prairie View, Central, I would have Jackson State 4th, and that's fine. Okay. Jackson State should not in a top 10. No way Jackson State should drop below. They should not drop below. They should be 5 or higher. They should not drop below 5 under anybody's top 10. I can make an argument that we should be 3rd. I'm not gonna put us 1. That's fine, but we should not be where we are. 7. Hell no.
Well, y'all young kings, y'all know what y'all got to do. Okay, y'all got to go out there and prove everybody wrong. This ought to be right there in everybody's locker. Put it right there in their locker. So when they walk in there and they smelling themselves, they feel like, oh, we just had a good day on the weights. We had a good day in practice. You come back to that locker room and you see that shit right there and you humble yourself. And you say, damn, I got more work to do because these folks they playing with us. They playing with us. And we got to go out there on the field and prove them wrong. Okay.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.